Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. As announced by President von der Leyen during her State of the Union address, the Commission has today launched an anti-subsidy investigation into imports of battery electric vehicles from China. This investigation will determine whether battery electric vehicle value chains in China benefit from illegal subsidisation and whether this subsidisation causes or threatens to cause economic injury to EU producers of battery electric vehicles. Should both prove true, the investigation will examine the likely consequences and impact of measures on importers, users and consumers of battery electric vehicles in the EU. Based on the findings, the Commission will establish whether it is in the EU's interest to remedy the effects of any unfair trade practices found by imposing anti-subsidy duties on imports of battery electric vehicles from China. This investigation will follow strict legal procedures in line with our own EU and World Trade Organization rules. It will allow all parties concerned, including the Chinese government and relevant companies and exporters, to present their comments, evidence and arguments. Thank you.
Thank you, Olaf. Please stay here on the podium with me. We're now ready to take your questions, and perhaps I would ask you to start with questions on the announcement by Olaf, if you have any, since he's already on the podium. Is it on this? You need to wait for the microphone to turn red. Yeah.
Thank you very much. Ian Johnston, Financial Times. Do you have any time frames on that investigation and the sort of procedure ahead? Thank you.
So the timelines are quite clear on this. From the date of initiation, i.e. today, the maximum amount of time the investigation can take is 13 months. However, provisional anti-subsidy duties may be imposed 9 months after initiation, i.e. 9 months after today, followed by 4 months to then impose these definitively. As regards process, as mentioned, it strictly follows our own, but most importantly, World Trade Organization rules. We're at the start of a fact-based investigation, as part of which we will consult extensively, including with Chinese authorities and industry. And I'm happy to provide the dense technical explanation afterwards, if you like.
Thank you, Olaf. I think we have another question relating to the investigation. Chen Weihua, connected from remote. Weihua, you need to speak on the, you need to press on the speak button.
Okay, yeah. Could you define what are illegal subsidies and what are legal subsidies? I mean, because you use the word illegal subsidies, and we all know that everyone is providing subsidies, the EU and the US. Will, for example, EU launch an investigation into the US Inflation Reduction Act, which subsidized the US, made EVs? Thank you.
Thank you for your question. So there are a number of things to keep in mind here. The first is that the decision to initiate this investigation is based on a wide and comprehensive collection of evidence by the European Commission. The second point to keep in mind is that there are very prescriptive and detailed rules in the World Trade Organization rulebook as to what constitutes supply-side subsidies. And in this case, the evidence collected by the European Commission indicates that there is a sufficient evidence base to initiate the investigation. In relation to your question concerning the United States, the there is no evidence of a surge in imports in a short time frame coming from the United States. Therefore, there is no justification for initiating an investigation.
Thank you, Olaf. Are there other questions relating to the investigation? Does not seem to be the case. Other questions for Olaf on the files he covers? Not the case either. Thank you, Olaf. I open the floor to other questions.